Hello everyone, my name is Beto Panashichoto. Today I'll be taking you through my database final project. And the topic of the project is Welding Company Management System. So to begin with, I'll show you the roadmap which I'll be using throughout my presentation. So firstly, I'll introduce the topic. Secondly, I'll take you through my case study and the reasons behind doing this project. Then thirdly, I'll talk about the functionalities, which are some of the things I intend to achieve at the end of this project. Then fourthly, I'll show you my extended entity relation diagram. Then I'll talk about the enterprise roles from the EER diagram. Then fifthly, I'll talk about assumptions which I used. Then I'll talk about the logical table derivation. Then I'll show you my SQL demo. So, case study. I'll be focusing at Uncle D Welding Company. Uncle D Welding Company is a company that is situated in Zimbabwe, Chinhoyi. The company specializes in providing welding and fabrication services, which include flux core welding, aluminum welding, plasma cutting, and so forth. The company deals with a lot of people and things, which include employees, machinery of the company, its clients, suppliers, and so forth. However, due to the exponential growth of the company, it has opened a lot of branches in different and several places in the country. It has become now more tiresome to be able to track the records manually. So I have decided to come up with a system that will be able to track the record of the company at each and every branch. Moving on to the functionalities of the system. The system must be able to provide a client with a quotation. What is a quotation? A quotation is a detailed explanation of the number of items needed by the client, the materials needed, the total cost of the materials, the labor amount of producing those materials, and also a combined sum of all these things to provide with a quotation total amount. The system must be able also to keep track of the total number of employees, the project, and the supervisors and the machines for each particular project. So moving on to the extended entity relation diagram, we have an employee and a client and a quotation, which are both strong entities. So employee can have many quotations, and a quotation might belong to many employees, and therefore we have decomposed this relationship. We have an item and a quotation relationship. An item can belong to many quotations, and a quotation might have many items, and we have also decomposed this relationship. Moving on to the expenses, general expenses. Each project has specific, or each general expenses for a specific project, but each project have got one-to-many general expenses. Then moving on to the machine. Machine can belong to many projects, or projects might be worked on by many machines. Therefore, we have decomposed it to form a project machine relationship. Moving on to the employee and machine. Employee can work on operates or zero to many machines, but a machine can only be operated by one employee. A branch have zero to many projects, and a project belongs to exactly one department. A project is supervised by one to many project supervisors, but a project supervisor can only supervise one project. A supervisor is 1 to 3 project supervisors, and project supervisor is only a supervisor. Done with that, and moving on to the payment. A payment can be made for exactly one project, but one project can be paid using many payments. Then a supplier can supply one or more supplier resources, but a supplier resource can only be supplied by one supplier. Then a supplier, a resource is a supplier resource, and a supplier resource is exactly one resource. I've also decomposed some of the assumptions which I made, which an item must have a specific number of a fixed amount of materials used for each item. A payment a payment is a project. If a payment for project is one or many, like might be made for one or many times. I already talked about the enterprise rules when I was explaining the extended entity relation diagram. Moving on to the logical table design. The logical table design, this one shows the primary keys and the strong entities of my database. So I have I have an entity called branch, and branch is a strong entity with a strong primary key. Then, and these other attributes, I also have a department with the department ID and the other attributes. I have the employee with strong attributes. These are all strong entities. Then I have the machine, which is a strong entity. It also has a foreign key, which is which is a person who operates the machine. These ones are decomposed tables with which have got foreign keys from both the tables, like the two tables, which have decomposed. This one quotation item, and so forth. So moving on to the welding company database. So here is my SQL. Firstly, I've created the tables. I started off by the branch. I created the department. All these tables, I've created them. The branch department. I have used enum here for creating a machine and the purpose of the machine. I've also used your not unique, like unique notes now for the contact. Contact must be not must be unique and not now. Then here again, these are the things. These are the like the quotation table, the client quotation, all these tables. I've created. Then I've used the auto increment for the project ID. The criteria I used to create indexes was if I'm doing like a query on a certain index or in a certain table, I have to create an index for those rows or for those columns so that it might be faster when I'm running it. So I've created for machine. I'm doing something on model and used for columns. Then I will also created something for resource name. I'm going to select the resource name later on. I've created something on machine on item. I'm going to select the item name and the item type. I've created something on the employee. The employee, I want salary. I want to search if the salary of an employee, the most paid salary, like if the salary of an employee is greater than a certain amount, then I have to, right? So here is the data population. This is just the Pascal when I was entering or putting in data into my database. These are the things, these are the tables. I have populated all these tables. So moving on to the queries. So the queries are like this. The first query, so before we move on to the query, I'm going to run the whole database and see it working. So I'm going to run all of it, the tables in the database from create. Okay, so it's done. So for the queries, I'm going to close these ones and I'll run them one by one. So firstly, for the queries, I've defined some queries and I'll run them and show you how they are working. So the first query is to check each project, to check whether each project is enough number of employees, the machines, and the supervisors. So we are going to do this by selecting employee ID, start date, end date. Those are the columns I'm going to select. Then for that one, I'll go and select from the employee project. I'm going to check if with his project. Then I'll count all the I'll count everything in the employee project, uh, which is being joined by this statement. Then I'll do that for the supervisor for the project machine, and then I'll count the number of machines, supervisors, and that one. So what I want is I want to check if the number of okay. So I want to display project ID, start date, and end date if the number of machines is greater than one. And I'll also display the number of employees, supervisors, the total number of those things there for each project. So here I have run the thing. So here are the results. So firstly, I have this table which is showing me the project ID, project start date, and so forth. So this project, the first project is just a project which is ending in 2023 December, January 6th. Then the number of employees 10, number of supervisors 2, and the machine is 2. Still is an ongoing project. So he has to show the quotation of the employee. The quotation of the employee, it has to select quotation ID, item name, materials, quotation, and it will do some mathematics here by calculating by multiplying the quantity and the cost of materials, then as total sum of the materials. Then it will do another one by calculating the quantity and labor cost is total labor. So and adding these two will give us the total quotation price. So what is it basically doing? We are selecting from a quotation item. Then we inner join an item by item ID, which is equal to the quotation ID. So quotation, okay, quotation quantity must be greater than 5 different tables. So let's run this and see how it is going to work. So here we go. So what it is basically doing, this item name belongs to the item table, and this quantity belongs to the quotation table, to the quotation item table. So when we select item name and something from quotation, we have to join them so that we can be able to present it as this format. So what's here? We have an item called chair. What materials does the chair need? A chair needs an iron bars, welding rods, and wooden body. Then how many chairs do we need? We need 20 chairs, and the quotation ID is 4006. Then the types of total sum of materials is 1,000. Then the total sum of labor is 5,500, and the quotation price is 1,500. Is to the third period. This period tracks the number, keep track of employee and the project they are working on and their salaries. So here we go. We have another one. This one will be selecting machine ID project used for module and project end date. So we are selecting all the ongoing projects and see which machines or machinery are being used for that project. So the full join, we're just joining client quotation and union client quotation. Let's see how it. My name is Bethel Panache Chocho. I want to say thank you for listening to my presentation. That is it. Works. So here it is. Works. So here it is.